Once David and Bathsheba learned that Adonijah was trying to anoint himself king down in Rogel, they put Solomon on the king's donkey and brought him down to the Gihon Spring. And what you're looking at below us is the Canaanite pool. Dates back 3,800 years, 800 years prior to King David. And many archaeologists believe that this is where the water pooled up from the Gihon Spring, and this is where Solomon was anointed king. If you listen, you can kind of hear the water still coming out of the Gihon Spring as it travels down the tunnel.
They believe that this pool was in use a long time for the Canaanites and the Jebusites before David made Jerusalem his capital.
Because this has been in the same spot for 3,800 years, we're highly confident that this is the location of where King Solomon was anointed third king of Israel. David was getting old, and he had not formally named his successor. And one of his sons, Adonijah, decided to take that job on for himself.
Over in 1 Kings 1, Adonijah is trying to stage a coup, and he and his friends have gone down to a place called En Rogel. Where is that in this landscape?
It's located right at the bottom of the hill right down there, and that's where Adonijah had his feast. He had priests down there and either generals for his army, and he was trying to proclaim himself as king.
Nathan and Bathsheba come to David and let him know what's going on. His health has been failing. He's not as aware of what's going on. And when he hears about it, he sends Zadok the priest and Nathan and his son Solomon on his donkey down to the Gihon Spring, where he would be anointed as the next king.
That's correct. Now, what's interesting about that, here are all the people that are around here.
Yeah.
This is a very public place, and the sound just kind of reverberates through this valley. Well, the Bible tells us that when that occurred, they heard the trumpets and the people were cheering, and that sound reverberated down the valley, and the party that was going on with Adonijah, they heard that. And a messenger came from this area down to En Rogel and said, Solomon has now been appointed the king.
Imagine how Adonijah felt when he heard that in the middle of what he was trying to attempt. And when he gets that message, he rushes back up the hill to where they worshiped and grabbed the horns of the altar, trying to keep Solomon from killing him for trying to take his place. Saul was the first anointed king, and when it was finally time to anoint him publicly, he was found hiding in the luggage. He wasn't really fit and ready to do what God needed him to do. When David's anointed, that's done pretty privately, just with his family, and then he has to wait more than a decade before he's publicly anointed. And this is the first time in the monarchy where the kingship is being passed from father to son. Adonijah is trying to supplant that. You've got this attempted coup, and Solomon is anointed in a rush, but still it's public enough that everyone hears and knows that it's happened. And so even in the process of their anointings, it changes. Even though you go from Saul to David and David to Solomon, and you seem to increase, the nation grows, it expands, it's still not the king that they're looking for. They're imperfect men, and they make mistakes. And even though there's been a prophesied king that's going to come, they're still waiting to see that in the historical record.
I'm Craig.
And I'm Stu, and we're the founders of Appian Media.
We really hope that you've enjoyed the content that you've just seen. This was only made available through the generous donations of so many of you.
We believe that the world should have biblically accurate, visually engaging content about the Bible, and it should be free for everyone.
We would encourage you to visit the membership page of appianmedia.org and consider becoming a reoccurring member. Everything that you donate to Appian Media is tax deductible.
However you decide to donate, we really appreciate your support.